What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Sports. I am your host, Trevor. Last week in Florida, so I'll be home on Monday in my studio. But for now, I'm here. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, catch me on Instagram, or catch me on my YouTube channel, Sideline Bay Area Sports. All the subscribers out there, I appreciate your support. Thank you very much. We're here talking Warrior basketball. So, what's up, Dub Nation? Let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about the loss last night. Warriors lose 111-114 to the Spurs in a game that I kind of thought was going to be a gimme, but it didn't happen and didn't really put us in a great position now that we're down to the 7 seed, which is the final playing game, or I don't say the final playing game, but they're back into the first spot of the playing game, basically, guys. And not an ideal loss. I'm not going to lie. It is kind of a bad time to come into a loss. We got 3 games left in the season, and we need to win 2 out of the last 3 to get this thing back on track and get into an actual legitimate playoff spot, not just a playing game. Again, I do think that they're going to get into the playoffs if they do have a playing game, because I feel like they're just going to go ahead and advance anyway. But why play the extra game when you don't have to? And again, the standings right now are so tight, guys. It's 1 game or a half a game between the 8 seed and like the 5 seed. It's crazy. Ideally, we would love to see the Warriors get into the 5 seed, because we really don't want to see the Lakers or really Denver right now, even though Denver seems to be kind of on a downside after firing their head coach. I don't know why they fired their head coach, by the way. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Not going to get into that right now, but that could send the Denver Nuggets either spiraling down, or it could galvanize a team and they could go on a run. But I'm getting a feeling like they're kind of spiraling down in the wrong direction. Either way, that's great for the Warriors. I would just rather see like the Lakers play Denver and one of them get knocked out, obviously, from that series. I'd like to see the Warriors play a team like maybe Memphis in their first round of the playoffs, but who knows? It's really hard to say what's going to happen. There's only 3 games left, and none of us know where this is all going to shake out at the end. There's a lot of teams that can move in a lot of different directions right now, and so that's where we're at. And it's going to be fun to watch either way, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think that the Warriors need to get a win here in the next game. I believe they play the Blazers next, which should be a win. They're not really playing for anything, so doesn't make sense for them to be fighting for a win. And then we got Memphis playing Minnesota tonight, so we'll see how that shakes out. Obviously, one of those 2 teams is going to drop. It'd be nice, I guess, if Memphis won that game, but we'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and go to the stats right now, actually, and talk about what really went wrong for the Warriors against the Spurs. And basically, pretty much everything went wrong if your name isn't Steph Curry or Jimmy Butler, really. Let's go to the points. Moses Moody had 7 points. Another weak game out of Moses Moody. I don't get it. Some of the bench players and the starters not named Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler are kind of failing the team right now. They need to get their crap together and get it back on track. This is just so annoying when I'm watching a team battling for a playoff spot and the supportive players are just basically crap in the bed right now, guys. That's the bottom line. They've got to get it together. These are really trials for next year, to be honest with you guys, because the Warriors have every opportunity in the world to win a finals this year. I believe that. But next year, they're going to even be more powerful of a team when they retool a couple of those positions to help support Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. So these guys got to get together or they won't be a part of this team next year. It's just that simple. Moses Moody, 7 points. Jimmy Butler, 28, very respectable. Great showing from Jimmy Butler again. And we're getting close to playoff Jimmy here, right? Because everybody knows Jimmy Butler in the playoffs is a very, very scary thing to watch. I can't wait to see it. I'm excited to see Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. It's going to be another level. He always shows up for playoffs in a big way. It's going to be fun. Draymond Green had 13 points. He showed up because his defense is really where it's at. So 13 points for him is a plus. Pajemski, 7 points again. Lackluster after it's 2 games in a row of just kind of meh basketball. not really great. Not really great. Steph Curry got his normal 30 at least, and tonight was 30, but most of the time it's a little more than that. Either way, 30 is good. Buddy Hield, we're looking at 12 points. Again, meh. Could take it or leave it. Jimmy Butler, or I'm sorry, Buddy Hield, not setting the world on fire. Don't think he'll be a Warrior next year. I really don't believe that, but we'll see how that goes. Jonathan Kuminga had 12 points. That was okay. Guy Santos, 0. Come on, Looney, 2. Makes me want to throw up. Trace Jackson Davis didn't have much time, but he got 0 points. So, guys, nobody on the team really scored and lit the world on fire. And this is what's going to make the difference between a Warrior run deep in the playoffs or a quick exit. It's that simple. It's not going to be Curry. It's not going to be Green. It's not going to be Butler. It's the remaining roster that needs to step up, and it doesn't have to be all of them, but it's somebody's got to step up and say, I'm going to be consistent. Consistency is the key with this Warrior team, guys. Bottom line, consistency is the key, and nobody on this team can seem to string it together. Jonathan Kuminga is driving me crazy. Year 4, the guy still can't seem to step into his destiny, which is supposed to be a very, very powerful player, a guy who can get downhill, draw fouls, aggressive. None of that is really happening on a regular basis. Guy Santos is aggressive, but he just doesn't have the skill to be a guy who's going to make a big impact hardly ever. I mean, he didn't have any points this last game. You know, I like watching Guy Santos. I do. I love the energy out of the guy. I wish it would transition to stability and points. It doesn't always, but that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. Pajimski was on fire for a bit, but he's come down to earth. We all knew he was going to come down to earth, right? Pajimski is not the second coming of Curry, but who knows? He's only in his second year. Who knows? Maybe he will be. Maybe he will be, but and I do think he's going to be a player the Warriors are going to hold on to long term. I really do, because he does have talent and potential, but he's coming down to earth a little bit because he, again, is not consistent yet. And Moses Moody, who's a starter, we really need that. I said this for a while now. Moses Moody is going to make the difference with the Warriors in the playoffs. I believe that because he's been pushed into the starting position or the starting lineup for this team as of a few weeks ago. And so he's got every opportunity right now to make or break his, future with the Warriors and the Warriors in the playoffs right now. But we do not want to see the Warriors slide back into the Warriors of midseason where they were just basically, losing 3 out of 4 games. You don't want to see them slide back to that with Jimmy Butler. I don't believe that it will, but at the same time, these guys that are supportive players, the bench, they've got to get tougher. They've got to get mentally tougher. They've got to be consistent, and they've got to get it going, guys. John here wants to say hi again. So, hey, and John's excited about watching the Warriors in the playoffs too. So we'll see how it goes. But I got to say, right now, not super excited with the consistency with this Warrior team. And I believe next year they're going to be even better. Now, can they win a finals this year? Absolutely. But that's all about the mental toughness of their bench and of some of their starters. So right now, we're not doing that right now. Right now, the bottom line is we need to see a couple players step up and actually make a difference. Now, those players are either Jimmy Butler. Well, no, he will. I'm saying Jimmy Butler. God, this kid is. We're not doing Pokemon now. We're doing a live podcast sports. You want to do it? Okay. So anyway, those players are, in my mind, there's 2. Those players are Moses Moody and Pajimski. If those 2 players come to play, the Warriors are going to be okay in the playoffs. Jonathan Kuminga would be nice. Give the Warriors 1 great game out of every 3 games, right? And that would be working for JK, because JK, I've seen enough of JK to know in my heart what I feel he is at this point. I really have. I wouldn't say that he doesn't fit in this offense. I would say that he's he kind of is what he is. And again, I don't want to say he's one dimensional, but I'm trying to figure out what two things he does great. He does a great job of getting downhill, drawing fouls, or slamming the ball and getting Warriors points basically in the key. That's what they're good at, or he's good at. Is he good at defense? Not especially. He defends okay, but most of the time he's drawing fouls more than he's defending well. So I don't know how good of a defensive player he is. He's not an outstanding three-point shooter by any means. So when he's not getting downhill and he's not scoring, what is he actually doing? What is he actually doing to support the team? Well, not much. That's why he doesn't play a lot. That's why Steve Kerr doesn't support him and trust him, right? He doesn't. So basically, right now, the problem with Jonathan Kuminga is he doesn't have the trust of his head coach, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. You don't have the trust of your head coach when you don't, perform, and that's the bottom line. So those two guys that I think are really going to make an impact and can make an impact is Podziemski and Moses Moody. I think they are consistent, and they do. Please don't do that. Stop. And they do. So this guy playing with my wallet. Anyway, those two guys definitely not only can make an impact, I believe will. And if they don't, then the Warriors are going to have a really hard time. I don't think it comes down to Jonathan Kuminga. I think that it's possible that if he starts lighting the world on fire, that the Warriors will look a lot better. But I don't think Kuminga is going to make the difference in whether they go far in the playoffs or not, because he really hasn't made the difference this year. And they're doing pretty well one way, either way without him. Kevon Looney is going to be a big piece in the playoffs, just like he was when they won the chip a few years back. He brings a mental toughness. He gets rebounds despite his size. He scores. He's got a decent mid-range jumper that I like for a center. So I think Kevon Looney, and he's got experience. He's got playoff experience, championship experience. He's got what it takes to help this team get back to the finals. I think Kevon Looney might wake up in the playoffs and be somebody you really lean on. I really do. So those guys that I'm naming right now that I feel like really not only can make an impact, have the best chance of making an impact. When you look at other players like Buddy Hield and Jonathan Kuminga, I wouldn't bet on them for anything. Buddy Hield's like a nice to have if he hits a three-pointer here and there, but he is not going to just wake up in the playoffs and go crazy. Jonathan Kuminga is not just going to wake up in the playoffs and go crazy and lead this team. The leader of this team is Steph Curry. The leader of this team is Draymond Green. The leader of this team is Jimmy Butler. Anybody else outside that, their job is to score and draw attention away from Curry. If they can't do that on a consistent basis, we're in trouble. So they got to figure it out. That's a frustrating loss last night, because if they get that win last night and they win against the Blazers, they pretty much are going to be locking up at least the 5 seed or the 6 seed. But now they're sitting there, looking at the playing game, looking in at the playoffs. It's frustrating when I mean, these guys just didn't show up. I don't know if they're tired. I don't know if they're just, I don't think they're tired. It's a consistency thing. I keep saying that over and over again in this podcast. It's consistency. It's so damn frustrating they're not that. So next year, there's going to be a few new faces on this team. Not a lot, but I would say 1 or 2 new faces that are really going to make a decent impact when it comes to consistency for this team. And when you see Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green and Steph Curry, and probably Podziemski is going to still win this team. Wouldn't be surprised if Moody was still on this team, but he might be traded for another forward, somebody who can come in and be more consistent than him. I kind of like the way Moody's playing most of the time, but 7 points is not going to get it done. Not for Steph Curry at the end of his career where he's trying to get another ring. It just won't. So these other people are going to be on the trading block after this year. Buddy Hield's on the trading block. I think he's gone. Moses Moody might be on the trading block. Guy Santos is, let's be honest, probably back down to the G League maybe next year. Kevon Looney, possibly. Trace Jackson-Davis, a guy who I love and thought that he was just going to transition, has lost tons of minutes. He may be another guy that's on the trading block. There's a lot of people that could be moved, but we just need 1 or 2 more really consistent, good players that we're looking for a ring that want to play with Curry and Butler and Green and really make a run for it. So who knows what that's going to look like? And I know I'm looking past the playoffs right now, but I'm just saying this, guys, because these are all auditions for these guys right now. Who wants to be on this team next year? Who wants to get either released or put back down to the G League? You know, that's what it comes down to. What's going to happen? We got the Blazers. You better beat them. You better win that game or you're in the play-in. Got 3 games left, guys. 3 games, and we don't know where most of the teams in the conference, Western Conference division, are going to end up. We just don't. We know the Thunder are taking number 1 spot. But aside from that, I mean, the Rockets nobody's catching the Rockets, and probably nobody's catching the Lakers. But aside from that, we don't know where the rest of the teams are going to fall because it's that close. It's literally a half a game, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Let's watch the Blazers tomorrow. Let's see what happens between Memphis and Minnesota tonight. Either way, it's going to be good for the Warriors because one of those 2 teams is going to lose. So that's good. But very exciting basketball. Frustrating last night. Let's see if they get back on track tomorrow. They win the next 2 games. There's a good shot they get in the playoffs without having to do a playing game. And we'll see where it goes, guys. But for now, again, thank you for watching. Remember to hit the like and subscribe if you're watching me on YouTube. If you're not watching me on YouTube, go ahead and follow my link that I've added on Instagram. That'll take you directly to Sideline Bay Area Sports, and you can go ahead and subscribe there and like my videos. I appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about 49er football, being a Friday. I talked baseball yesterday. Not much more. I really want to speak on it. We'll talk Giants baseball next, most likely Tuesday or so, and A's probably the same day. Until then, guys, remember, hard work beats talent when talent don't work. I'll keep working for you. You keep watching. I'll see you in the next one.